Hey again. All right, it looks like this week we are going to be moving towards atmosphere, pace, and mood, which is a little bit like saying pace and setting. Uh, Pace is probably one of the most important things that you can consider when writing a fictional story. And the reason for that is we want to do a pace that makes a reader incapable of putting your book down. There's nothing better. Probably my favorite email that I get from readers is, I'm really mad because I'm exhausted today. I stayed up until 4 o'clock finishing your book. Booyah, then I did exactly what I needed to do. And that's all about pacing. That means that I have written something that doesn't give you a chance to catch your breath. And I have a lot of students who go, shouldn't it go like this? Really? Because what happens when you're watching a movie that does that? When it does this, you're going to the refrigerator, you're punking around, you don't really care. Okay, when it goes like this and you're able to detach, that's no bueno. So looking at pacing is so important because the thing that bogs pacing down besides bad dialogue are blocks of narrative or exposition. Nobody wants to read big blocks of descriptors. It's a drag. We used to do that. I specialized in 18th century British literature. I know, let's not go there. Apparently, I needed to sleep a lot because it's so boring. But what I found was that we've moved from the loving of words and the descriptors to let's get this moving, and you can tell that by looking at movies. Right nowadays, you're dropped into the middle of the action. There's a car chase, a murder, something big is happening because we know that we have to grab you and bring you in, and it has to be breathless. You have to be tense or laughing or in love, or, there's got to be something going on, because remember, the number one key, the number one thing, and you'll hear me say this a lot, when readers stop feeling, they stop reading. So this is a stop feeling moment where people put the book down, and you don't want them to put the book down. So given that, you want to be very careful about your setting and your atmosphere so that it doesn't bog down your pace. And this means being very specific about the one or two lines that you use to set the stage. Nobody needs to hear how many different colors there are on the tree and what the flowers blooming. That's an author that's gotten not only wrapped up in their own words, but has not dealt with the reality that we're a soundbite society now. We are a fast food nation, operative word fast. So pacing is what keeps people in butts in the chair in movies and eyes on the page for books. So let me give you an example. This is from my zombie series, and it's the first part of it. And I just want to show you that how I set the stage very quickly, and then move on, because I just need to give them a hook to put their brain in terms of where I'm putting my characters on the stage, because that's what it is, right? When you're looking at a stage as opposed to a movie that has all the other moving parts and bells and whistles, we're talking about just a flat out stage that we have to put our characters on. So, whether your character is, this guy, you have to put him on it, right? We've got to give him someplace to be standing, but we don't need to go long. This is again, first page. They were out there, lurking, waiting, chomping their broken and rotting teeth in anticipation of a meal she would make sure they never tasted. "Where are you?" Dallas whispered under her breath, her eyes scanning the dimly lit gravel road leading to a ranch house whose owners lay dead at the foot of the driveway, half eaten by the once human creatures roaming just outside the fence line. I don't need to go on and on. You get the picture. There's a gravel road. It's dimly lit. As she's looking outside, there's dead bodies. I don't need much more. I have set a very quick table, and that's what you want to do with this. Again, because you're thinking pacing and you're thinking understanding the brain. Again, I'm all about brain science. And if you go to the Alex Westmore page has a lot of on YouTube, a lot of videos around that, because I've taught a lot of different classes and people have taped it and whatever. But the Wired for Story, which you'll hear about, and I'll post it pretty soon, my favorite book, dealing with what the brain of a reader is doing while it's reading, because it's fascinating stuff. And I'll be posting probably the first 4 of that. People paid for this, so you get it for free. It's kind of cool, because it changed everything about my writing. Because again, we want people to open that book and to not put it down, because that's how you get published. You get an editor who picks up that book and starts reading and can't put it down. There you go. That's what you're looking for. So think about that as you're doing. So what I'd like to see is answer the questions that you need to answer for the forum. And again, if you want to draw a line under there and go, okay, I've started this scene, or I'm having problems with this, or is this the right direction? Then we can kind of jump on that. Because you should not have big blocks of print. The fact of the matter is, nobody wants to read that anymore. We want things to be clipping along. So clip along, set the stage, not the movie. Because there's, again, big difference. You have all sorts of special effects and bells and whistles and stuff. But on a stage, you gotta at least let people have something to hang your character in your brain on. And I think that's kind of a big deal. And it doesn't take a lot. So keep that in mind. And other than that, I think we'll have another great week. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you got. So have a great week. I'll talk to you later.